Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's a pleasure to see you all. Some of you I know, some of you I don't know. So I would like to introduce a new concept, a new product called InsideONE. It's a product made by French company Insidevision. And I would like to introduce Eric Vush, who is a vice president of parent company Insidevision. My name is Igor Feinberg, and I'm running a U.S. subsidiary of a French manufacturer. We are located in Boston suburbs in Massachusetts. And again, it's a pleasure to see you all. So my objective today is really introduce the product, showcase the new concept, new approach, and why we think it's a unique approach compared to what we have today on the marketplace, and then answer any of your questions. If I spark any interest in you, you are welcome to come to booth 704, and we'll give you a much more detailed presentation than this. So that's really what my plan today. And so what's unique, what intrigued me concretely in the project of Insidevision? It's a Windows 10 tablet with the 32-cell refreshable Braille display integrated in one device. Let me go to some of the features that differentiates this product from the competition. So we do have a Braille keyboard engraved into a Gorilla Glass. So the idea behind that is that instead of looking for keys where to start, type in Braille, you will be able to put your hands firmly onto top of the device, find your 1 and 4 key, position your hands, and you will be able to Braille in. The beauty is whatever you are Brailling in, I would be able to see as a sighted person on a 10-inch screen. So the screen is playing a double function role. It's actually a place to Braille in, to use on a Braille keyboard, and it's also a place where a sighted person can see a text. Eric later on will actually demonstrate the real functionality of it, and you will be able to practice. We'll give you a couple of tablets so you can place your hands on the tablet and see what that is. Right? So another unique feature in this particular product is the ability to navigate. So one would use smartphone-like gestures. That would be primarily a sighted person. And you can swipe left and right. You can pan a display left and right. You can double tap, triple tap with 1 finger, 2 fingers, or 3 fingers. Very similar to what we do with the smartphone. And you will be able to navigate the tablet. There are 2 environments there, the Windows environment and our own home environment. So the home environment in particular is very interesting because graphical user interface is arranged in such a way that all objects are lined out in a axis, in a row, in one long row, and you will be able to scroll through the objects swiping left and right only. You don't have to go up and down. Again, Eric will demonstrate that much in greater details than I am. Another cool feature, of course, is taking advantage of Windows operating system, so a person doesn't have to relearn the operating system when he or she enters a workplace after school or college. All right. So let me go further. Now, in front of you, you now have some of the features that I highlighted, and it's basically a solid aluminum anodized case. It's a touch screen with the two cameras, 2 megapixel camera and 5 megapixel camera. And rear is, of course, 5 megapixel camera, so you can take pictures of it. And you can take advantage. This is the specification that I have for that particular product. So it's about, the size of it is about 8.5 by 11 page, and it's about 3 pounds. So realistically, you don't need to connect any other devices. It's really all that you need, with, of course, the exception of a smartphone, which is now probably just a must-have. And then, so the other thing is I kind of introduced us already. We both have been in a market, in a assistive technology market for a long time. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic to Eric. I am going to hand out a couple of tablets. So you guys can put your hands on it and play with that.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody, and thanks for coming to this conference. So my name is Eric Vioche. I'm the VP of Sales of Insidevision, so the headquarters in Paris, in France. So before going into something concrete about the product, I would like to show you in real the tablet. So as my friend Igor was saying, you have a 32-cell Braille display at the bottom of the tablet. The tablet is made of full aluminum, like an iPad, the same process, machine. You have a 12 inches glass made of Gorilla Glass, on which we have indented the Perkins keyboard. So that means everything is tactile. You will find a Perkins-style keyboard with key 9 and 0 at the bottom for space or enter. And you have 4 specific tactile zones outside of the 10-inch screen. So that means the matrix, tactile matrix, is 12 inches wide instead of 10 inches like the screen. On the right side, you have this vertical slider, which will be used for the arrow keys and also to select some actions. On the left side, you have the same, and this one is for knowing in which Braille grade you are, so contracted Braille, J1, for example, and also some specific features for the sighted. And then you have this long bottom slider just above the 32-cell Braille display, which is for replacing mechanical cursor routings. So if you want to highlight a letter, if you want to highlight a word, you just go above the cell, above the function, and double tap, triple tap. You can also do some other functions, such as contextual menu, menu bar, and so on. And on the keyboard, on the glass, on the left top, you have another button. This button is also for swiping between different open applications. And also, if I double tap on it, I will come to our Home suite. Home is a suite that we've specifically developed for the education market. So the best thing is, I think, maybe Igor, you can take one tablet,
yes,
and show to the audience. I have another one, so I will connect it to the main screen so I can show you how it works.
Where did you?
Not selected. Selected.
You can hold it.
It's okay. So let me show you how it works. I hope you're okay. You're on the Windows desktop. So this tablet runs either JAWS or NVDA as a screen reader. So if I'm going to move on the Windows desktop with the right slider, I will
Control.
swipe
One of
cross
3
through.
applications. 5 of 13. This PC.
At
6
any
of
moment,
13.
I can also switch off the text-to-speech if I want to by putting a finger for 5 seconds in the right slider, so it won't talk anymore. And if I want to go to Home,
Word
to
2016.
Windows,
2 of 13.
and I double tap and I open the application. I was talking about the big button on the left. If I double tap on
Braille
it,
English 6.
I will come
Windows
to
main.
the Home suite, and you see that at the bottom of the screen you have a line in black with Explorer, Switch, Settings, and so on. This line in black, I call it the ticker tape. It's in fact the alphanumeric transcription bar, which gives you the exact translation, always from each Braille cell. So for the sighted, for example, you're a teacher, you're in a classroom, you have someone who's blind and is using this device, you know exactly where he is and what is written. So let me explain the Explorer. Explorer is a kind of Windows Explorer, but if you go to Windows, sometimes it's quite difficult to navigate because you have things up and down, left and right on 2 different columns. Here we have decided to put all the information on a single row. So
Explorer.
I'm going to Explorer, I'm opening. You see, we always have 3 groups. Where do you come from, where you are, the content, and the properties. And at the bottom you see Home, you see C, and then you have also the properties. So if you want to swipe in the bottom slider, you will be able to read everything. At any time, if I want to come back to my focus object, with 2 fingers, I cross through the bottom slider, and I come back to the place where I focus. So that's the word Home. So this is really important for us to say this is another way of browsing, of navigating, instead of going up and down and left and right. But we think it's easier for someone who's blind to see all the information on a single line and just to open 3 different groups, and it will be always like that in the suite. If I come back to, if I escape, and I come back to the Home suite.
Folder view, list view.
Sorry.
Home. Home-Windows main. Apps.
Now you're in Apps. I double tap for opening apps. You will see you have Note. If I open Note, you see the Run menu, which is a menu bar. I open a new file.
Start of document.
Now I'm on a new file. This suite is mostly for education market, so it's very user-friendly. If I want to type something, we only have to put our 6 fingers once
Braille keyboard.
on the keyboard. You see the keyboard is now active. It always stays active. You don't need to calibrate each time you leave the fingers of the screen. You come back after reading something on a Braille display. It always stays active as long as you don't close it. So I can start typing something.
H-A-L-L-O.
Okay, I made a mistake. Instead of typing E, I typed A. So I can go in the bottom slider, double tap. So I can delete it. I can also delete the whole word. I can use the Windows shortcuts as well. So these Windows shortcuts, it will be Control A, for example, for selecting everything. I will type the letter C with space and then A.
End of document.
So everything is highlighted. You see for the sighted, it's also highlighted on the screen. And then I can press key 7 and I delete everything. So if I want to open a menu, double tap. So you can save as, export. So you can also import files from doc, docx, ODT, RTF, TXT. And at any time, you can also mail. If I double tap, I come back to the Windows desktop.
Folder view, list view.
So
Control. 1 of 13.
this device
To move
is
to
really
items,
nice
use the arrow
because
key. To edit the selected item, press F2.
this device is really nice because you can start at school with Home Suite, even to learn Braille, And when you prepare to go to Windows, you can go to Windows at any time. So it's really to learn. You can use it at home, you can use it at school, and at work, of course, because you have a full Windows 10 product. So that's really an exciting thing with this device. But of course, this product has been made for blind users first. So you're not blind. The last thing I wanted to point out, I just closed the keyboard. You're not blind, you're sighted, you don't know Braille, no problem, because you can also use this tablet as well. I put my finger for 5 seconds in the left slider, and then I have the visual keyboard. So I can use it just I am using a standard Windows tablet. I can type in black, it will be automatically displayed in Braille, and you don't bother with which Braille the blind user is using, because if he's using the grade 2, for example, I will be typing in black, the full word will be displayed, but it will be displayed in grade 2 only for the Braille user. So the device does it for you. This is what I wanted to show you and to say, that this is really something new, a new way of navigating as well, but it's really a product for inclusion, not integration, inclusion. So, Igor, you want to add something?
I just wanted to add a couple of things. So the product is quite versatile. If you go to settings, you can actually customize the way you do your gestures. It could be a short.
Home-Windows main. Output.
I'm trying to find a space where it's not that noisy. So you can... It is getting worse. Unplug that. Okay. Maybe good. Okay, I'll talk louder. So you can customize your strokes. It can be a long, it could be short. You can customize how fast you can type in Braille. You can do it slowly, you can do medium, you can do fast. So we have a colleague, her name is Lindsay Yazalina, who is a very, very advanced Braille typer. So she is lightning fast, and so we had to adjust the way the tablet responds to the touch. Another cool thing is that you don't really have to push the Braille keys. If you are familiar with Perkins Braille, that I'm very familiar because of my previous life, so you really have to push hard the keys. Now you can only lightly touch as if you are playing piano. We also improved quite a bit the response, the tactile response from the screen. Before, you couldn't really put your palms on the edge of the tablet because it interfered with the Braille strokes. Now you can just rest your palms and play the keys as if you are playing piano. So it's a very cool all-in-one communication tool which would help parents, which would help teachers to communicate with students, and will prepare a visually impaired person for working life. So with that, I would like to open any questions, and hopefully we will be able to answer them. Any questions, guys? We did bring some flyers, so you can take them with you if you're interested. Again, you are welcome to come to booth 704 for a more detailed presentation, and so you can play with the tablet yourself. Any questions? No questions. Did you like it? You don't like it? What's the feedback? Give me the feedback. Heavy. It's about 3 pounds. But the flip side, it's stable. It's not going to slide from the desk. But yes, I got that. Anything else? All right. All right, go ahead. Yes, it certainly does. It has a small protected, soft actually, carrying case. that you can, with the shoulder strap, you can carry it. Yes. Any other questions? It's a very good question. We have been working on improving that tablet for quite some time. The first versions of the software had quite a few bugs, but we feel that right now we worked out the most of them. And we are going to offer that to people, to state agencies, in a much broader sense, and hoping that this conference and CSUN and blogs will spread the word about the new product. Anything else? Any price?
Good question.
It's a very good question. For the U.S. market, it's $5,499. In Europe, that the very same product actually sells for more. But in the U.S., it's $5,499. And there are two screen reading applications over here. You have NVDA and you have JAWS. So whoever is used to using JAWS will be able to use JAWS. Whisper actually was kind enough to extend to us a startup version with 90 days license. So whoever has a license can key in the license and continue using. Otherwise, it's a 90 days. I think we have... Are you waiting for us? Yeah, okay. So I think that's pretty much all from us. Again, feel free to stop by at 7:04. Thank you very much for taking the time.